Computer boot sequence initiated. Accessing library computer data. NCC 10535. Starship Tempest.
Space. The final frontier. These are the missions of the Starship Tempest. Set between Captains Kirk and Picard, 5 friends stumble their way through their first role-playing game as the crew of this Federation starship, exploring strange new worlds, keeping peace in the galaxy, defending their keyboards from kids and cats, and going clumsily, if not boldly, where no one has gone before. Captain's Log Supplemental. We've managed to make contact with some of the inhabitants of this ARC ship, but it hasn't exactly been a rousing success so far. We've met the apparent leader of the society, Otho Genla, who's taken us captive, but doesn't seem to be aware of a world beyond the habitat. We've avoided violating the Prime Directive so far, but whether or not we can extricate ourselves from our current situation without doing so remains to be seen. I'm hoping Goodspeed and Holden are having better luck.
Okay, let's do Holden real quick. What would Holden like to do?
Holden just sneaks inside. He goes, "Oh man."
Well, that didn't work.
Sneaky.
Are you making your way up to where Maddox and Teal are?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do a.
Can I at least try to lunge for my tricorder with my turn?
Yeah. Well. Okay. So I'll let you try to break free of that. Yeah. So go ahead and do that.
Break free.
Okay.
So daring and security, difficulty 1. This will also be opposed. So,
Okay.
but I have no momentum to spend left, so I'm only gonna roll 2.
Okay. So I got 1 success.
Okay.
Come on.
Oh wait, I did forget to apply. He does have a focus of hand-to-hand combat, so
Oh,
that does apply.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, okay. Well.
All right.
All right.
Sorry. 2 successes to the 1 success.
Okay.
All right. Holden, let's give you a daring plus security task, and this is you sneaking up the levels without being caught. Difficulty 2.
All right, I'm gonna spend a momentum
Okay.
and go. Boom! 3 successes.
Nice. Okay.
So I get it back.
Ooh.
You get that momentum back. Yeah, you make it up to. You find a staircase. You manage to avoid some guards that are on patrol and just otherwise milling about the tower. You manage to sneak your way up the several levels to the top of the tower where the Otho and Maddox and Teal are, and you work your way into an antechamber off of the main chamber that they are in. So the 3 of them are still in there. There's also still how many did I say? 4 secret police dudes. Also there with them.
There were 6.
Oh, they're still in the
Was it
main
6?
chamber.
Yeah, there were 6.
Okay. 6 then.
So they
yes.
didn't I thought they would have thrown them in the brig or something.
No, not yet.
They just restrained us.
Yeah. They're just
Took all our
like
stuff.
not trapped, but boxed in, confined.
Well,
What's up?
so we can't just tell them all right, here's the truth. That would be bad.
You can if you want.
Fellas.
Well,
It's up to Maddox and you. I'm staying out of it.
Okay.
I'm all about it. I was about to open up the sky.
Yeah, you also don't know that we're coming for you or anything at this point.
That's
so.
true. Yeah.
and also, Goodspeed and Holden have discovered evidence that they have good reason to say the Prime Directive does not apply, whereas I don't think we've been shown enough evidence to convince Maddox that the Prime Directive doesn't apply here yet.
Okay, but I don't want them to burn us at the stake or something
Well, if they start to do that, then we'll that's an extreme scenario.
She's our witch, so cut her the hell down.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're all in the same place right now, and Holden is just sort of off in the corner being sneaky.
Okay.
No, I'm asking.
Oh,
is that
that's
the situation?
That's how I have it. Unless somebody wants to.
That's what's happening.
So Goodspeed has been tackled and is presumably going to be brought up to join them, correct?
Yep.
Presumably.
Still not happy with how that fight went.
So I'm assuming that they just captured him and he's an outsider just like the other two, so they'll probably bring them up. I'm just going to wait there and see what happens, to be honest, at the moment, since I'm not really sure what's going on in the chamber. I know they're in there, but like, I'm not going to just start burst in and start shooting as of yet. Can I see them? Am I able to observe what's happening in the room?
Yeah, you can, from your kind of vantage point in an alcove, you can see through a
decorative tile
door, an ajar door, or whatever.
Okay.
All
right,
decorative
so
outcropping.
I want to
perhaps some kind of sconce.
I take out the eyes in a painting, and
and he also says, "I always hated that painting. It feels like its eyes are following you."
So I would suggest we jump back to Maddox and Teal, because like my actions are gonna. I see that they are not currently, at least by the description, are not like in immediate danger.
Sure.
So I think we jump back to that scene and then see how that plays out and see what's happened if and when they bring Goodspeed.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Okay. So they've pulled all of your equipment off of you. They've laid it out on the table for the Otho to examine it, and he's examining it, piece by piece, not having any idea really what any of them are or how they work, but fiddling with them, opening the tricorder, opening the communicator, and closing it again. And as he's in the process of doing this, the back wall of this enormous chamber, which also seems to be like a giant blank computer panel, like the one you were interacting with outside, lights up and starts making some kind of notification or warning or alarm or something to that effect. And the Otho notices. He doesn't seem surprised. It seems to be, an expected or regular action. But as it activates, he gestures over to one of the guards and they leave. And a few moments later, they come back with what looks like another secret police guy who looks different, almost like he belongs to a different faction. Like he's wearing the same kind of uniform, but there's some kind of aspect of it that marks him as part of a different faction. And underneath the large computer panel that's inlaid into the back wall of the room, an alcove spins, rotates out and presents itself into the room. The secret police drags the prisoner over into the alcove. He gets sealed in. The doors slide around him and they get sealed in.
What prisoner?
The other guard guy who in a different uniform.
Yeah, so one of the guards that has been guarding you left the room, came back with essentially a prisoner that looks like he's wearing a similar uniform, but of a different faction. Yeah.
Sorry, I got mixed
Oh.
up.
No
Yeah,
worries.
thanks.
I got mixed up saying it. So he drags the prisoner in. They toss the prisoner into this alcove. The alcove seals behind him and traps him in. It's transparent, so you can see him inside of it.
Wait, is that me?
No, it's not you. It's not Goodspeed. It's a random.
Oh, a similar uniform to them.
Not similar to our uniforms.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, I'm with you now.
Yeah. A similar uniform to the secret police that you guys have been dealing with. The alcove slides in around him. The computer panel starts to, beep and flash and whatnot. Some kind of word booms out from speakers from the computer panel of some kind, which your universal translators translate as provide confirmation. The Otho deals with some controls on his table, and then in a very kind of momentous and ritualistic and jackassy, pontificating way, speaks to the lighting up computer panel, and essentially says, confirmed. At least that's how your universal translators translate it. A flash of light flashes onto the guy trapped in the alcove. The computer panel reacts in certain ways and then goes dead again. The alcove slides open, the dude falls out, unconscious. The other secret police guards come and they drag him away out of the room.
What just happened?
Can we tell if he's dead?
Yeah, he's not dead, he's unconscious.
Okay.
What just happened?
Can Teal get a read on what that prisoner's emotional state was?
Ooh.
I know that would sort of be retroactive at this point.
Yeah, no, I'll let you have it. Going up to it, it was absolute abject terror. And then afterwards, it was blank, nothing. It was not even confusion, less than confusion, if that makes sense.
What does that thing do?
So it was a light-based lobotomy.
Yeah, was it a lobotomy? Did it take his energy? What was it doing? Is that how they power the ship? Is it Soylent Green?
Are you asking him? You asking the author? Well, like, what are you guys actually doing?
I don't know. Ryan? Captain?
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 Captain, do something.
I truthfully am at a loss. I don't know. This is like we're boxed into a corner, and because we don't have any information about their society, we haven't gleaned anything.
You could say, what did you do to that man?
He would have. I light punched him in the face is probably the answer. But yeah, okay. I ask him. I ask the Oso. I say. Now here's the other thing, Brian.
Yeah.
We're speaking gibberish apparently because our universal translator only picks up one word at a time.
No, your universal translators are working.
You said the universal translator took it as confirmed and nothing, and that's it.
No, I'm just saying that's what the computer said.
All right.
The computer didn't say really anything beyond that.
Okay.
When the aliens talk to you, the universal translator works fine.
Otho, what just happened to that person?
What do you mean? Sacrifices must be made to keep the world together. The man sacrificed his memory to keep the machine going. Unfortunately, he was agent of chaos, so he knew what was about to befall him.
Was he a criminal?
He was an agent of chaos.
I'm going to interpret that as yes, a criminal. So what was his crime?
He took up arms with Harnot, the rebel Otho.
Who is Harnot, the rebel Otho? Who is Harnot?
He is a would-be usurper who makes his camp at the far end of the world.
Oh, so there's opposing sides. So there's a big civil war taking on.
There's a war.
Yeah.
There's a war happening.
There's a civil war within this thing, which would explain a huge loss of population if they're killing each other.
Yeah, 100%.
You really don't know what's going on, do you? But you know more than any person would, other than the god or myself. Who are you?
Otho Gilno, is there another Otho other than you and Harnett?
Harnett is not an Otho. I am the only Otho.
Is there another person or faction that is competing for your authority, as is Harnett?
My authority is total and absolute. Harnott wishes to incite chaos and would destroy our entire world and our society.
What can we do to show our loyalty to Gilno?
And he looks at all of the equipment laid out, your equipment laid out on his table, and he says, you could tell me what these things are and what they do.
Okay.
And he picks up one of the phasers and, sort of is examining it and not touching any of the buttons yet, but looking at it pretty closely.
These are devices that my people use to defend against hostiles and to communicate with one another.
They are weapons, then. Is this what you mean?
One of them is a weapon, yes. The other is used for communication.
I see.
And Otho.
Otho.
Jeez, I have everything down wrong. Otho Genla, you will not be able to use this weapon. That weapon is designed specifically for my use only.
If you really want to try to make that bluff, go ahead and...
It's not a bluff.
It's not a bluff?
It's my phaser. He can't use my phaser.
Why not?
Really?
Yeah. They don't have like a it doesn't work in other people's hands rule in Star Trek, do they?
I thought they did.
I mean,
they
they totally should, because that technology would absolutely exist. I'm not saying that it doesn't.
Right,
they should have seatbelts too.
Exactly. It totally would exist, but
I thought it was canon. I guess it's not canon. I thought it was.
I don't think
I felt like I remembered that also, but
Well, we'll operate under the assumption that it's not, I guess. So let me walk back that statement then. I wouldn't have made that statement had I had.
Well, now you got me wondering about it. I can't think of a moment where there's a fingerprint lock on it.
It's probably one of those things that like they use conveniently for a single episode, and then it never showed up ever again.
Yeah, and it would be applicable in 1,000 other instances, but never is.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, how about this? I kneel down in front of Otho Genla, and I prostrate before him, and I say, these devices are what my people use to communicate with, and if pushed, to defend ourselves with. But the weapons are not deadly. They are merely used to incapacitate our enemies.
This is how we show love.
You would use these weapons to serve me?
Sure, hand it to me.
Yes, if it means sparing the life of my compatriot here and myself, then yes, I will.
And he sort of looks to the lieutenants, the secret police lieutenants, that's standing over you. They're having a silent conversation between themselves, like, should we really do this or not? And just as that happens, there is a commotion that comes from the city streets below. And let's actually cut back to Goodspeed here for a second. The guards that grabbed you are now hauling you into the tower itself, to the main entrance. But as they're hauling you up the stairs, a whole force of other people with same stun batons, wearing, again, from the audience's point of view, wearing the same uniform as the uniform of the guy that got tossed into the alcove and got zapped.
The same uniform, but yellow.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever it is. A whole force of them come rushing through the city streets. As soon as the guards that have you see what's happening, become aware of the attack coming down upon them, they drop you, they forget about you, they raise their stun batons, and they go at each other. At least,
they drop the tricorder?
No, they didn't drop the tricorder. The dude still has the tricorder in his pocket.
Okay.
As he rushes into the group of people to fight. What would you like to do, if anything?
I want my tricorder back. It's got a cool button.
Okay.
So I want to see if, in the chaos of the fight, that I can get in there and steal, pickpocket him.
Okay. They're in a full-on duel and brawl at the moment. So,
cool. There's gonna be a lot of chaos.
Yeah, I'll let you try it. It's gonna be tough though. So it'll be like a daring plus security task, difficulty 4.
Oh.
I mean, it's fine. He's been making lots of successful rolls along these lines.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're basically, this is a full-on street brawl happening, and you still see the guy. You have eyes on the particular guy with your tricorder on his person.
Yeah.
If he looks the other way at the main entrance, is the main entrance open and unguarded? Is that the other option?
It is at this point, yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. Is there, in the chaos, could I shoot the guy, stun him?
He has your phaser,
and then
he has all your equipment.
Ah, crap. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna run up the tower and call that a loss.
Okay. You run up the tower to the steps. Unlike Holden, who had to sneak around, you don't need to sneak around because all of the guards could give a shit about you because they're being attacked. So they run by you. You make it up to the.
Oh man, but
yeah.
But that tricorder had the open the sky button.
It did have the. Open
I
sky
know.
button.
I wanted it back, but oh well.
You
roll for it.
Nope. Too late. You already chose to run up the tower. So you run up the tower. You enter the main chamber room where Maddox, Teal, and Otho are. The 3 guards have remained behind to protect the Otho. The other 3 have rushed down to join the fight on the streets.
So now there's only 3 guards in there?
Correct.
And the Otho.
And 3 of us.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
3
and
4
4
of us, 4 of them. Well, no, 4 of us, 4 of them, because Holden's somewhere, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Where is Holden?
I'm just outside the room.
In an alcove,
yeah.
Peering in.
Okay.
Yeah, peering in. I also have my phaser trained on them.
Okay. Wait, but I'm not coming in the same door that Holden is.
Correct. You're coming in the main door. You're coming in the same door that Teal and Maddox came in. Like the front actual entrance.
All right, well, let's see. We as a team, this is not in character. What do you think the play is here?
So it's 4 on 4 at the moment?
No, it's
3 on 4 with one guy they don't see who has guns.
Yeah.
One, like Holden.
Yeah,
so it's the Otho, 3 guards, and then the 4 of us.
So 4
on 4.
Right, yeah, from our perspective, it's 4 on 4. Well, actually, we don't even, Teal and me, and Goodspeed. You're the only one who knows where you are, Holden. So we don't know that there's an advantage to be had there.
So Goodspeed just burst into the room.
Mm-hmm.
He has no weapons.
Correct.
All of Teal and Maddox's weapons are on the table, or does the Otho still have the phaser at this point?
He still has the phaser in his hands, but that's just one phaser. So the other phaser and everything else is on the table.
How close are the other guards?
They are at the front entrance. So there is, from where you are, Holden, there is a clear shot between you and the table.
Hey, can a tricorder project a hologram?
No.
Well, that was a fun idea for me.
So I just want to be clear. It's the Otho is like standing at his throne, basically, correct?
Correct.
Or like around the table.
Yeah.
And then the guards are between Maddox, Teal, and where Goodspeed just entered.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna shoot the Otho then.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, the Goodspeed just ran in.
And so now that distracted the hell out of him, I'm sure.
Yeah, the three guards are looking at Goodspeed. Otho is confused. I'm hidden, so I'm gonna take a shot at him to stun him, because then both Teal and Maddox can grab their weapons.
Okay. Do a control and security for me.
Control and security. How much momentum do we have?
6.
6. Let's see what I have. I have guerrilla warfare as one of my focuses. Could I use that?
He's a humanoid, not a gorilla.
A gorilla's a humanoid.
Yeah, go ahead. You can use it.
3 successes.
All right, there you go. That was a difficulty 2, right? So you
Get the momentum back.
get momentum back. So you're up to 7. And now roll the damage. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, 5, 7.
I'm just trying to stun him, so.
Yeah, it's enough. So he goes down with an injury. He is stunned, knocked out cold. The 2 guards that were guarding the entrance now spin around on their heels.
2 or 3.
That's right. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, 6 originally, 3 left, 3 are still there. The 3 spin around on their heels in response to your action. Do any of you other guys, want to take an action before they take their action?
Yes, I dive for my phaser.
Okay, do a daring and security for me. Difficulty 2.
God damn it! I hate security.
Is difficulty 2 to just pick up his phaser that's now lying on the ground next to him? I'm just asking because that seems a little much.
It's not on the ground next to him. It's on the table, and he has to do it before the guy standing right next to him can stun him with his baton.
Brian, can I impose my focus of composure?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would also like to spend a momentum to do this.
So if you spend 1, you'll have 6. If you spend 3, you'll have 4.
Yeah, and my security is a 1, and my daring's a 7. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna spend 3.
Okay.
Why is your security a 1?
I gotta
He's
hit
not
the
a fighter.
gym. All right. I actually, after Brian's discussion
Oh,
last
that's
time.
fitness.
What? No, I know, but like my security sucks. I don't know.
Your security should be
I
higher.
got to do target practice, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and I'm using a focus.
Yep.
Applied. Yes. And Jesus
jeez.
Christ.
Oh, 2
Wait.
bagels.
Wait, I doubled
1
my
success.
successes though.
Did you click yes on focus?
Yeah.
Then it calculates it automatically.
So wait, you only used 1 momentum there, Ryan?
No, I
No, because you only
Oh
rolled
yeah,
3
you
dice.
did. Yeah, you only used 1 momentum because you rolled 3.
Oh, I spent 3 to roll 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should have
That's
clicked
right.
on
So
Okay,
go
here
ahead and
we go.
roll one more die. Don't redo the whole roll.
That's fucking bullshit. For the listeners at home, I did not succeed.
Oh,
All right, Teal, you try and grab your phaser, please.
okay. So he made a diving barrel roll and hit his head on the desk.
Yeah.
And,
There were no complications.
that's just all the zeros. And so what do I need to do? Daring?
Daring and security, difficulty 2.
Hey, I succeeded.
Hey, look at you. Wow.
Okay, all right. So
job.
you're able to grab your phaser off the table and spin around on the other 3
She
guards.
casually walks over and picks up her phaser off the table.
while staring daggers at Maddox.
Yeah.
Who's unconscious and bleeding.
She is only able to succeed at this task because the guards tripped over Maddox in the process to try to stop her. But you grab your
That was his
phaser
plan all along.
and you draw it on them, and they stop. They freeze in their tracks as you
Okay.
draw your phaser on them.
Okay.
So, what would you like to do now?
Whoops. I accidentally rolled
You
again.
still rolled 1 success
You
out of
still
4.
failed the roll.
It was still
By
terrible.
accident. Okay, so phaser is drawn. The Otho is stunned.
Correct.
Otho is down on the ground, unconscious. Yeah.
Can the captain and Holden and I... Well, where's Goodspeed? Is he in the room now?
Yeah, Goodspeed is at the very entrance of the room. So you and Maddox are on one side. The guards are between you, and Goodspeed is on the other side of the guards.
Okay, so I grab the captain's phaser off of the Otho and toss it to him.
And hand it gently to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gently.
Yeah, we don't want to be, with the way we're rolling, we don't want to do any sort of tossing. Or
No challenges of any
The
kind.
Harlem Globetrotters, you guys are not today.
No, we are not. And so I hand it to him very specifically.
And I shoot myself in the chest.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, do phasers work like scissors where you're supposed to hand it to him handle out? Or
Yeah.
What's the comment?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. So
Okay.
then now there are three of us who are armed, so we can hold up our phasers and maybe get them to release Goodspeed, and we sort of face off with them and then try to back out of the
Well,
room.
Goodspeed is not under guard.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
No,
not?
he just ran into the room.
He's just standing in the line of fire at the moment.
Oh, right. There was I forgot the chaos outside.
Yeah, the riot.
Correct, right.
Forgot about that. Okay, so now there's four of us, and we're just like,
Yep.
we're gonna go, so you can stay there with your flashy batons, and we're gonna leave now. Thanks, bye.
Okay. They don't protest. They understand, even if they don't really know what your phasers are. They understand enough to not test.
I mean, they just saw
test
what
the
happens
situation.
with it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So they don't protest. They don't move.
I want to try and interface with the computer before we leave.
Okay, if you want to.
Because there's that panel that like clearly works
Right.
and is being used for things.
Yeah.
So I want to try and like download what's going on and understand everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to download everything to my USB drive.
I'm actually gonna say, like, there's nothing to access unless, like, with the other one, you were able to pull the screen off. But this one is so large and mounted into the wall that you can't. There's no way to pull it off. So
Well, I mean, can't I just use the control panel that like the guy was using?
no, he didn't actually touch anything. The computer started it by itself, and he interacted with it once it started verbally, but he didn't actually press or touch anything.
He doesn't touch
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, he just responded to a computer that seemed to activate automatically.
When someone was thrown into that chamber thing.
Yeah, about the same time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to leave it up. I'm curious. So out of game, just as a strategy question, what is our plan at this point? Is like, are we just planning to get out of this room and then leave? Like, are we going to try and figure out more stuff? I mean, we have access to the head of their society.
I would love to find out more about this culture, but this culture is full of jerks.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd also love to get my clicker maneuver back, but that's like kind of a lower priority.
Right. I would love to be able to talk to the other guy that wants to be king, but I don't know how we would go about finding him, and it would take another 2 hours. So
I mean, we also now, like, someone in this society has a phaser and a tricorder, which seems like a bad thing to just leave behind.
yeah, that's probably bad, right?
Yeah. I'm wondering
Do we interrogate the Otho?
if there are two different, if the other faction, Harnot's faction, are being manipulated by a different computer system. I'm not sure that the computer system was being used by Otho, or that the Otho was being used by the computer system.
Yeah. Basically, it lights up and says, "Feed me, someone."
Yeah. Isn't that kind of the impression that you guys got?
Feed me, Seymour.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Yeah. Feed me someone's brain.
And if that's the case, it's probably our duty to interfere and to protect these people from a technology gone wrong.
Okay, so what are we doing, Captain?
I thought we were just discussing what we should do.
Right now, you guys are still standing in the Otho's, chamber, standing off
We left there.
with a couple of dudes wearing, holding batons, and a riot of some kind happening below.
Yeah, I want to look outside and see how the riot's going. I want to see if it looks like who's winning that battle at the moment.
Okay.
You
You
also see if maybe there's other prisoners in the area.
yeah, you head to the window. There, in the street below, is the battle is still definitely raging on. People are brawling and dueling with various baton weapons. Nobody is brandishing a Starfleet phaser. It seems so far, at least at this point.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, you can definitely tell that there's two factions here. The Genla faction and the Harnot faction, which they're wearing similar uniforms but different enough that you can tell them apart. And there is one guy down there who is wearing Harnot colors, but is also wearing what seems to be more elaborate clothing.
A very large hat.
Yeah, something that says, "Oh, that's the guy in charge of that faction."
Oh, good.
But the brawl is, still in the thick of it, and there's no clear winner or upper hand at the moment.
All right. Yeah, Captain, it looks like the other head guy is down there. But we are currently, stationed here, and we have this one who's stunned, and, we could probably wake him up with some smelling salts or something and talk to him, where you're not, being held prisoner for that.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Teal, bring him around.
Great.
So I would like to subdue the guards that are remaining there.
Yeah, remember, you still have 3 guards in there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah, well, stun those guys.
I'm going to say I would like to just, tie them up so that they can't attack us, but if you're going to make me roll for something, I'm just going to stun them.
Yeah, I mean...
So, how about you just let me tie them up?
Did you just try to blackmail the GM?
Do you have anything nearby to tie them up with, is the question?
What's in the room? Describe every single thing in the room for me.
Oh, look at this random coil of
Yeah,
rope.
describe...
Yes, I look underneath the table and there's some wires down there that I'm going to pull out and...
Yeah.
No, actually, you know what? No, I'm going to say that at the windows there's some large drapes.
Yeah.
And they're tied off, and so I'm going to pull down a piece of the rope that is used to tie the drapes
Yeah,
open.
that's actually what I was going to say, is there are drapes and tapestries with
I got it.
tassels on them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm
go
going
for
to
it.
pull those down. I'm going to, me and Goodspeed are going to tie them up and sort of leave them over on the side.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
We are nice to them, though, so, we aren't making enemies, or at least more enemies.
I'm gonna take the other section of drapes and make a dress. I saw it in the window and I just had to have it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm glad we went there, guys.
Yes, you're welcome. I'm here for everyone.
It's true.
That's going to appeal to a very specific demographic that's going to listen to this show.
I feel like, guys, I listened to this great show.
The Carol Burnett people are really going to think the Tempest is awesome.
And those that aren't Carol Burnett fans, go look up who Carol Burnett is and watch Carol Burnett.
Exactly.
I'm also going to tie the door closed or barricade the door in some way with a large bench that have something so that someone can't just walk in on us at this point.
Yeah, there's a credenza next to the door or something, and you push that into the way. Yeah.
All right, so the guards are subdued, and I'm assuming now we can just talk to the Otho.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll say that Teal also has a medical kit with her as standard issue, and she uses it to bring Genla back to consciousness, and he groggily wakes up. He's tied up as well, right?
No, I think we leave him out.
Oh, you
we
leave him
stand
untied?
we stand over him Avengers style.
Okay.
Wakey.
And just give him that look don't try anything.
Okay.
So he doesn't actually know what happened to him yet. So he just sort of wakes up, and now he's obviously seeing all this stuff. So I take my phaser and I just shoot a random part of the stone wall.
Okay.
As a display of power, and then
Assert dominance.
then I point it at him, and I put it down right next to me.
Then I pee in the corner.
So
Without ever breaking eye contact.
Olin is very impressed.
We are a very strange culture. So I shoot the wall as a display of power, and then I put the phaser, after pointing at him, on the floor next to me.
I actually have to use the restroom, so I'm going to be off for just a second.
Okay.
Go pee in the Otho's house.
Yes.
Okay.
And I say,
and he just looks at you and he doesn't say anything.
Right. Otho Genla, there is a brawl that is broken out just outside the palace doors. And it appears as though Harnot is trying to take your tower. So, can you tell me more about this conflict between you and Harnot, so that I can help? And then I tap the phaser, implying that I'd help him with violence, which is not my intention, but I'm just trying to get him to talk.
Ooh, you're such a tricky, sneaky bastard of a captain. I love
Trixie,
it.
Trixie,
Trixie bastard. He says, I have the power, I have control, I am the Otho. Harnot wishes to be Otho. He wants to take control. If he does, it would be doom.
Why?
For this whole world, because I am the only one who can maintain the control. Hano takes power, everything dies, everyone dies.
Why would you say that? What would happen?
I'm gonna just tell you, like, this dude has a very, like, religious fanatic aspect to him, like.
Okay, that's what I was going to to sort of get there in my next question. So
Yeah.
Otho Genla, is there who is your god? I'm just asking point blank. Who is your god?
What is a god?
Who controls the universe that you know?
I do.
What power is bestowed upon you that allows you to control and not Harnot?
I have the tower. I speak to the world speaks back to me. I give the world. I ensure that the world is fed with what it seeks and what it needs and what it demands of us. And in return, I am granted the power to keep this society stable, to keep all of our people alive.
And I sort of look at Teal and try to ascertain whether or not she is picking up anything from him.
Well, can we ask, hey, well, why are the other guys, why is that other faction, what makes them jerks to you?
Yeah, like what?
That's exactly what Goodspeed asks directly and literally.
What makes them
What about those
verbatim.
other guys? What's their problem?
Yeah.
They want power. They think Harnot thinks he can control, that he deserves power and this tower. He does not. If he wields the power, then everything dies. Our world will fall apart. Only I can keep the control necessary to keep us alive.
Can you show us this power?
He sort of like gestures back to the computer screen at the back of the room.
So that is his source of power, and he thinks only he can control it.
And
Or
he's
now whether or
using
not
it
that's
to zap people's memories?
so. Otho Genla, has anybody else ever used this power, or is it only you that has ever used it?
There are the ones that came before me,
Okay.
and the power was handed down through the ages.
Okay, so this is the MacGuffin of their whole society, then. So this is not something that's like biogenically encoded to respond only to him.
Sure.
It's just it's the terminal access for the ship computer, right?
Basically, yeah.
And so he's the one that has control right now. So it wouldn't be a surprise to him if we suddenly access the computer, because other people have done it in the past. So that's not a play that we can make.
Well, so it might be, because so I'll couch it in these terms, right? So it's like the Pope is the one who speaks from the chair of St. Peter, right? Like when he speaks ex cathedra, he is literally speaking for God, according to Catholic doctrine. It's a similar kind of thing here, right? Like he is sitting in whatever this chair is, or he is sitting in front of this computer screen. The computer screen is functionally the throne or the, ex cathedra of this society. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like Pope Benedict right now is ex cathedra, but there was a guy before him, but
Right.
it was handed off in a particular way that conveys the legitimacy from one to the next.
Right.
You mean Pope Francis?
Yeah, Pope Francis now, Pope Benedict before him, and
Right.
so on and so forth.
I thought you were saying that there's like some other guy in the corner who had retired but still carries the title. And
No,
I was like, wow, this is getting really deep.
Yeah, in this case, there's no, literal Benedict hanging out at the, what's it called? The
Castle Gandolfo?
Gandolfo, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That's a deep cut there, Benifter.
Can you tell I watched the two popes about 10 times?
Anyway, this has been our Catholic Dogma podcast. Yeah.
Okay, so at that point, then I'll look over at Holden and gesture over to the big old monitor, to the big old wall console, as if to say, "Go show him that not just he can access it."
Okay.
Do your stuff.
Do your stuff. Take him out.
Do your thing. Do your stuff.
Well, like I said, Holden accessed the one in the streets by pulling the panel off, but he can't pull the panel off.
Yeah,
With this
I
one.
look back at the captain. I'm like, I don't know how to do. I mouth. I don't know how to do that.
And then I gesture harder, not getting the idea.
Go do the thing.
All right, sir. Sidebar.
So, fun fact. So what do you guys think? Is the society is the computer controlling them, or are they fighting over a limited computer functionality? Has the functionality of the entire ship system been compromised so that it's no longer adequate for the population and they have to fight over control?
Well, I'm trying to figure out what use it would have ever made for a feature on the ship to be a mind
a brain drainer?
You know, a brain drain. Yeah, like that has to be a mistake or
The brain drain 5,000.
the brain.
Hey, is that guy still around? The guy whose brain was drained? Is drain brain still here?
Yeah, he's in like a lower level, I guess.
Or maybe was it used to, like, if anybody did see someone else from the outside come in to fix something or whatever, to, like, wipe their memory?
If it is their power source, that could also be why their numbers are so low, because they've been going for 1,000 years and just constantly draining people.
Right.
That can't be their power source, though. All right, we need to know what the hell this system
Let's
is.
throw one of the guards in the little thingy and see what happens.
I was going to suggest myself, but one of the other guards is fine. That's why I wanted to see
don't
what the other...
put your brain in there, ding dong.
Well, what I was going to
Can't
do
do
is
that.
I wanted to see where brain drain
sir.
was, where brain drain was, so we can see if there were any lasting ill effects on that person.
Well, yeah. Well, how can we find out how many people were originally on the ship? Because if there were 1 million people and we're down to 10,000, there's much more going on here, unless it's just been a civil war for hundreds of years.
Well, we've already tried to access the crew manifest earlier, didn't we? And we weren't able to do so.
I don't know that we did that.
I mean, we did.
That's what we
I
tried
thought we
earlier.
were successful, and that's where we
We
learned
did.
that like it could suit 1 million people.
But there were only 10,000. No, I'm wondering originally how many people were on it.
Yeah, you learned the total capacity. You didn't find any log of stardate day 1.
Yeah.
1 million people are on board. I'll check in tomorrow.
Stardate day 2. There are now 10,000 people. Today was a bad day.
It was
Today
a hell of a
was
day.
We learned a lot about controlling fire.
Yeah, exactly. Rough go on the learning curve. It turns out people need oxygen.
Wait a minute. So maybe at some point, like clear that computer, that chamber where brain drain went was not. I can't imagine that was the original function of that.
That's what I was
that
saying.
device.
Yeah,
Right. So if we were able to supplement their ship, this chamber, with some other form of power that the computer could then, because that must have been it. It must have been like, oh, this is where the battery goes for the ship's power system. So confirm you want to install a new battery? Yes, confirmed. All right, confirmed. And then that's probably what the original function was, or eventually somehow it got perverted into using people.
Some poor dude fell in there and was like, "Do you have a battery in there?" And they're like, "Confirm."
Whoops.
Oh shit, Bill! I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No,
you have
right,
no
but
brain.
that's probably what happened.
You have no brain now, Bill.
So how,
I'll say this to you guys. And now that you have this piece, that you know that this piece of whatever is happening exists, if you were to go re-examine computers and whatnot in the superstructure, you could kind of cross-reference. Like you know about something specific to look for, and so you might have more luck finding that specific thing. If you were trying to find like, okay, we saw this specific thing happening in the habitat. What does that do? What is that connected to?
Oh, okay.
If you were to look for that back in the superstructure part, you might be able to find it.
Let's go.
Hey, Holden, I got an idea.
Yes, Captain?
Why don't you go back to the superstructure and find out stuff?
I don't want to like leave you all here.
Yeah, let's all go together, please.
Yeah, no, let's do this.
Splitting up is bad.
Should we take the Otho with us?
No.
How
He's old.
about we take can we take the Otho and his enemy with us? Simo?
Simo.
Well,
Simo is still fighting downstairs.
Is his name really Simo?
No, it's not. It's Harnot.
Okay.
No, it's not.
so Holden, your hollow emitter,
Yes.
how dynamic a presentation can it make? Is it just something that can only create a single physical object, like a wall, or can it create a scene?
It's fairly limited. It can basically like put up a false wall or do like it's not going to be able to like make it think that there's someone in here or something like that. It's not that.
Okay, and it doesn't create an actual physical hologram that can provide resistance against force.
Correct. Yeah, it's just a visual
Correct.
thing, and it also like doesn't have any sort of sound or anything. So
Oh, okay.
we can't like fake a person with it. It's just
Well, I was wondering if we could fake the walls being boarded up or the main entryway to the throne here being boarded up, but that wouldn't actually provide any.
we
resistance.
could make it look like it, but we wouldn't be
The
able to.
second they tried to ram it with a tree trunk, they'd
It'd
all
fall
just
through.
fall right through it.
I mean, that might almost be worth it.
Yeah.
No, they'll just ram it with a tree and be like, "Oh, the shark still looks fake." But no, it cannot stop them. We could make it look like it, but yeah, it wouldn't do it. Also, it can't do like, depending on how large the door is, it can't do a gigantic hologram.
Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I say we take the Otho with us.
Why are we taking him with us if we're gonna leave this area to go out into the superstructure?
Because if Harnot and his troops come into the castle, they'll kill him outright.
Okay, but like
Who cares?
out-
Are we
no,
caring about that?
no. I'm just saying we'd be violating the prime directive and blowing his tiny mind if we take him outside of the area he knows.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It is something to consider.
I mean, yeah, I was just more
Um,
like taking him for information sort of thing. But like, we don't have to.
Yeah.
We could always just like leave them to their own devices. But
if in terms of just gathering information, he's not going to know anything more about the ship than we already know more about the ship than he does.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
have we discerned how they recognized that we were not someone from their ship or someone from their world?
Yeah, I am also curious about that.
Oh, is Brian gone again?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
No,
Yes.
we can't.
I was just wondering.
Okay.
No. Ryan said no.
So clearly you guys didn't like ask. With it, just the assumption is that they know the 10,000 people that are left, and so they just knew that we weren't part of it.
Yeah, I'll just say that like even though you are wearing clothes, there's something in general about your personages that's like, oh, you're clearly not from around here. For the first guy, it was the fact that you walked out of his closet.
Yeah.
For everybody else, it was just that like
It's that we have
you clearly
noses.
don't look like
Okay.
you don't belong.
Okay.
All right, well, let's get a shift on. Let's go to the let's head back towards the
All
superstructure.
right, so the four of us make our way back. Are we taking Otho or just leaving him now? We're just escaping.
No, just leaving him. We're just
All right,
leaving.
so we make our way
Okay.
back to that dude's shop.
Okay, so you got to cross the courtyard where people are still brawling. So everybody do a fitness and security task for me. Difficulty
Jesus Christ.
1.
I'm gonna trip on myself again.
You say everybody do fitness?
Everybody, yes, everybody has to cross
Fitness and what?
fitness and security.
Okay.
Double success.
I stumbled, but I was able to make it.
Maddox, you stumbled, but you managed to grab onto TJ's shoulder and stay upright.
All right. I made it and then stumbled.
And Holden.
Holden made it.
Hey, double success. We made it.
And you won 2 momentum back.
Our ability to walk across a quad is intact.
The quad.
We navigated through a brawl.
Yeah. And you make it back to the turbolift.
Oh, hey.
Or back to the shop.
While we're
Yeah.
sort of making our way through there, I do notice one of a guard that's in sort of the darker color of the uniform, unconscious on the ground. He happens to have a tricorder and a phaser in his pocket
Ooh.
that I can like make out.
Hey.
And I would like to grab those.
Okay. That will be a daring and security task. Difficulty.
He's unconscious. Not daring.
Yeah.
He's unconscious in the middle of a brawl.
Not
You're
daring.
robbing
It's the only-
you're robbing a dead man. How daring do you have to be?
How daring must this be?
I think he took his wallet. I think that guy just took his wallet.
I think he took that guy's
He took that
wallet.
guy's
Just took that guy's wallet.
I am also going to take his wallet.
Daring and security plus difficulty 2.
Difficulty 2. Okay. How much momentum do we have?
6.
All right. So I'm going to use 1 momentum
Okay.
and 3
Nice.
successes.
Nice. Okay. So you get that back. Yeah. So you're able to run up to that guy.
Good, we have the clicker back.
You grab the clicker and the phaser and also the communicator. So you grab all of the equipment that they had
Good
taken
speed
off of
lost.
Good Speed. Yeah.
Nice.
So now they have no advanced
I don't
technology.
give it back to good speed yet.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
And you guys are now all in the old dude's shop again, and the janitorial closet with the turbolift on the other side is right there.
I take one of his brooms.
And I take a bucket and put it on my head because I'm gonna fall eventually, so I'll need some sort of protection.
The broom immediately transports you inner light style to relive the life of a long ago alien race.
Oh, that's rough.
All right.
When you come back to, you get to keep the broom as a token of that life.
Yes, but it doesn't actually play.
Every once in a while, I longingly sweep my quarters.
All right. So unless you guys want to do anything else, you pile into the turbolift and take it back up to the superstructure.
Unless you want to do anything else.
No, we
I'm
don't.
just saying, like you guys
Don't leave us to our devices, Brian.
You got your intention was to get to this point, get back to the superstructure. I'm just saying this is your last chance to do anything before that happens.
Oh.
Nope. I think we're just going up.
If you want to like give one
Alright.
last look around and a nostalgic
Okay.
salute.
We didn't go very
Okay,
far.
Maddox looks around
Okay.
since Brian's leading us that way. What do I
what
see,
did
Brian?
we miss?
You see
We
a
missed
giant
something.
purple flying elephant lazily
man.
circling through the sky. And you're like, well, that probably seems significant. And then the doors close on you and the turbo starts taking you back up.
No! we
I'm
left
sure
the
it's
elephant
fine.
in the room.
All right, so now you guys are back on the superstructure level of the ship.
All right. So I am going to access the computers again through the panel
Okay.
that we were at before.
Okay, so what exactly are you doing at the panel?
Captain, what should I look for?
Ship power systems and how the ship was originally designed to be powered. What sort of power supply they had.
Okay.
Brains.
All right. I want to do that. Also, like, I want to see if anything in the system had changed in the last whatever hour
Okay,
since we saw.
Oh,
Since
that's a good
that
idea.
happened.
Got more brains.
so go ahead and do a reason and engineering 2.
I am going to use a momentum though.
Okay.
Yep.
3 successes.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Okay, you got it. Yeah. So you look specifically into the ship's power systems. You discover that the power systems of the ship seem to have hiccuped at some point in the past and entered into kind of a diagnostic cycle. So every day, it essentially runs a self-diagnostic, which has to be confirmed by somebody, and that was apparently what was happening in the chamber when you were there. But that did happen, so the ship is now running through this diagnostic cycle until tomorrow, when it will ask again. As far as you can tell, there is nothing about the ship needing to eat brains to to power itself. As far as you can tell, those two things are completely unconnected to each other, totally disconnected. But if the diagnostic cycle doesn't get reset every day, essentially a junction box somewhere in the power system of the ship will get clogged and bad things will happen. So it's kind of like in Lost when Desmond has to push the button every day or things blow up. They have to push the button by saying confirmed every day or things will blow up.
So you're taking your story structure from Lost.
Oh boy.
I'm taking the setup
Was
from
an
Lost. I'm not taking the
example,
payoff
yeah.
from Lost.
And
thank
it just
goodness.
so happened to be somebody. The first time they figured this out, somebody was in that little chamber and got zapped.
Yeah, at some point.
Man,
Oh no!
Primitive civilizations are stupid.
Yeah,
At some
they
point
are.
in the distant past,
Yeah.
somehow those two things got mixed up together, and
they got correlated.
that like we have to do this thing for this thing to work. It's a cargo cult situation.
Ugh.
So
Okay.
they could have been doing it without zapping somebody. So what the hell was that chamber for? I wonder. But that's not important. Obviously
Yeah,
we
but I
gotta
kind
It
of
was
want to
important
know.
to them.
we gotta fix this diagnostics
Wait,
cycle. Holden.
Can we find out what it was supposed to be for so we can teach them?
You can do it. But it'll be a task.
What's the normal diagnostic cycle?
What do you mean? What are you asking exactly?
I mean, it's a routine diagnostic. Like, how often is it supposed to run? It's not supposed to happen every day, but
Right. Yeah. It's
you said it was a glitch of some sort.
Yeah. Outside of the glitch, it's just run whenever it's told to run. But some automated system got hung up at some point, and now it's hiccups into running every day.
Okay. So in theory, we could just fix the hiccup and it will just stop doing that?
You could. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, do that. And
That sounds like a Holden and Goodspeed thing.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Holden and Goodspeed.
Buddies forever.
Attorneys at law.
Solving the problems.
If you want to do that, it's control and engineering difficulty 3.
Okay, so I've got a 14 in control and engineering. So what do you got there?
My control engineering is a 16.
So I will assist you.
Yeah. What difficulty was this again?
3. Difficulty 3.
All right. I do have a value called difficulty is just another word for fun.
You do like that value a lot, don't you?
I do.
I'll let you use it.
All right. So I have to use a determination, so I can't use another value.
Correct.
So I'm going to do that, which reads as an automatic double success, correct?
Correct. One
Okay,
automatic
so
critical
we-
success.
Yeah. And how much momentum do we have?
6.
6. All right, I'm going to use the momentum as well.
Okay.
And 3 successes.
Okay.
So that's 5 total successes.
And I helped.
6 total successes after Goodspeed helps.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
So we have full momentum now.
You are now
and
full up on momentum.
I
Okay.
have fixed the glitch.
And we gave everybody back their brains.
Eh.
I fixed the glitch. You will no longer be receiving a paycheck.
Nice. Yes. So to be clear, specifically what you have done is fixed the diagnostic cycle resetting itself every day. So that will no longer happen every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that chamber won't open, the computer won't turn on or anything, and also the world will not collapse after that does not happen.
Correct.
Do we want to go the extra step and like try to intervene and teach the people not to do that? That's up to you guys. I fixed the glitch, so I've done my job.
I fixed the glitch.
Well, is there a way that we can communicate to the people of the ship all in mass?
All Wizard of Oz style.
Maybe push the
Well,
button.
yeah.
Push the button on the clicker and open.
Push a button.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to think of a way to do that won't royally screw up a society, and
Well-
I'm not coming up with one.
If you just push the button on the clicker and then we like use a PA system or something to say like stop fighting.
Sure. So if you remove the sky, but you explain why you're removing the sky with a booming voice from the sky, everything will be fine.
Yeah. It should be.
If you add
I
the booming
mean-
voice to the removing the sky part, everybody will be real chill about it.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll close
Yeah.
the sky back up and everything will be fine.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys. So this is the central kind of philosophical question of the mission is what is the right thing to do in this moment with this decision. So I'm gonna let you guys take it away.
I kind of want to go back to the throne room and find out where that chamber is and figure out exactly, like, this is what I would want to do if we had enough time, was to go back there, figure out what that chamber is actually for, and then maybe, geez, I don't know. I was going to say, like, pontificate in front of the masses and say, like, we can fix this ourselves, and then we put one of us in the chamber that's no longer killing people, and like, activate it and say, now your world is fixed forever, because it would be. They wouldn't have to do that. But then, even still,
Yeah.
then we'd be playing godlike figures.
Boy,
with us,
that's-
so.
We're super. Yeah, there's no way to do this without meddling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the best thing we can do is we did a technical thing to fix a gooned up computer, and I think we can be happy with that.
And we'll see them in 70 years when they end up in Klingon space and they're totally screwed.
I was actually
also,
gonna.
Yeah, go ahead, Travis.
Oh, go ahead with that. Mine was still about the Klingon space thing, but go on.
Oh
with
no,
what you were
mine
gonna say.
too. We should alter their trajectory slightly so that they don't enter Klingon space.
I was just going to suggest we try to shut it out so that the impulse engine stops. So that basically it just stops going anywhere and it just kind of sits in Federation space. Because then we can contact Federation research like science and have them send out a ship and they can like continue to look and keep an eye out.
All right. Well, can you bring a ship to the ship to the ship to a stop? Now that we've kind of figured out their systems a little bit.
Honestly, though, I mean, it's got 70 years before it's going to run into anything bad. I wouldn't even touch the impulse engines. I would just say it's on this trajectory. It's not going anywhere. You guys come out and research it, and if they decide to stop it, they can stop
That's
it.
fair.
All right. Yeah. No, that's a good
Also,
point.
who knows what the gravitational effects are going to be on the people who live on it if you suddenly just take away a giant force and all of a sudden all the cows float away.
Everybody flies towards the front of the ship.
I'm assuming since I wasn't going to take down power systems, they have to have artificial gravity. Otherwise, they'd all be, on the bottom of the cylinder.
Yeah.
So really, if we look at the effect that we had on this society in this mission, it's really inconsequential. Like, we were just like a couple of random people from their perspective. There was a couple of random people that showed up, and then the insurrection happened. So, like, it wouldn't even be a footnote. It's like nobody saw us doing anything.
And the power that did exist now no longer exists anyway.
Right, which they can just figure out on their own. So I think that's a wrap, team.
Yeah,
if you're
good
doing it
job,
well,
us.
people won't think you're doing anything at all.
That's what I always say.
Brian, did we miss lots of things?
No, not really. So okay, just to wrap it up real quick, I think you guys have made your decision, but you're in the superstructure. You contact the Tempest. You beam back aboard. You haven't revealed anything to the inhabitants of the ship. So as far as they know,
We
they
didn't
are
leave behind a phaser and tricorder.
They didn't leave behind any advanced technology, which is good. As far as they know, they live in the entirety of the universe, and that has not changed by your presence there. So yeah, really what this was about was the philosophical question of, is it right to reveal this to this society? Like, does the Prime Directive apply in this situation? Because they are the crew of this ship. So obviously whoever built this ship, or they're the inhabitants of this ship, whoever built it obviously knew enough that the Prime Directive wouldn't apply. But these people have forgotten. So because they're from that race, but because this specific group of people have forgotten, does the Prime Directive apply to them? Also, it's a static society run by an asshole. So is there like a moral obligation there to fix the asshole who's running things? Because
Sounds like they were already doing that themselves anyway.
Because he's keeping the society. Yeah, you guys never really met with Harnot. If you had met Harnot, you would have been like, oh, he's also an asshole. Like, even if he takes over, it's not going to change anything.
I
Yeah.
see.
So
Don't blame me. I voted for Harnot.
so the idea was that, like, regardless of which faction was in control or took control, the average inhabitant's life wouldn't change significantly. And then what's the moral obligation on you guys to maybe court a whole bunch of horrible destruction or disruption onto their society versus allowing an immoral regime to go on, right? Because you could have wiped out both regimes by retracting the roof and blowing everybody's mind, but that might have caused everything to drop into chaos, and maybe they all would have killed each other, or maybe they would have figured it out. I legit don't know, because I didn't come up with this that outcome. I didn't and wouldn't have until you guys found a particular path there. The thing that I thought, like, the original inspiration for this was the Orville episode, If the Stars Should Appear.
I thought this was the Orville episode. Yeah.
Yep.
It's totally the Orville episode. And basically the inspiration, the seed thought of it was, okay, that episode ends with they bring the people up and they show them the viewport out into the stars, and they go, oh my god, I accept this truth immediately and my mind is blown. The original inspiration was, if you went in and you took the religious leader dude and you brought him up to the viewport and you showed him, like, this is what the universe actually is, and then he turned around and said, I don't care. I'm still going to hold on to my belief because I'm in control that way, And even
Because
though
that's
I'm
the way
literally
people work.
Yeah, even though I'm literally seeing this with my own eyes, I'm going to choose to reject that evidence and go back to my small little world. And then, what do you do? But you guys never brought either of them up to a viewport to show them the universe, so they didn't have that opportunity.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do want to make note that we contacted Starfleet headquarters, and they're going to send out
sure.
some more ships to study it. So.
Yep.
And we didn't fire a torpedo at the thin glass membrane that's keeping their atmosphere in. I thought that was nice of us.
Well, I sort of did. I didn't mean to.
But it didn't hit, and that's what's important.
Oh, right, good. It was an accident of leaning on the wrong button. We hope you enjoyed listening to the conclusion of Above the Highest Sky. Join us next time as the crew of the Starship Tempest teams up with the Federation's foremost archaeologist in a secretive expedition deep in Klingon space. Until then, give us a follow and some love on our internet hangouts, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and even the occasional TikTok under the handle Starship Tempest. Thank you for listening, and a huge thank you to our Patreon supporters. You too can support us on Patreon and get some cool perks. Head to patreon.com/Starship Tempest. And we'll see you out there.